As an artist since my student days, painting, preferably in oil, vibrant works and gratefully selling worldwide, now came a period without a base and most of my art materials in storage. What to do? On going to visit my newborn grandson in Brazil, well, he gave me an idea. Now without a home, the time had come for a change. So I sold my car and decided to visit the lovely new addition to our family and South America. To step forth, mud and all, feel the earth, enjoy life. I had become homeless through bureaucratic delays, becoming a hobo. As confirmed by Wikipedia, a hobo is a migrant worker. Hobos, distinct from vagrants and tramps, travel and are willing to work. Well, that was me, teaching English and art as I went on my way, searching for cheap accommodation whilst painting wherever possible. With a past of other jobs to boost my revenue, such as a living carer or by renting my past homes out to tourists, this new freedom was inspiring. Painting and drawing along the way, using whatever was at hand. Also the lovely food, or possibly the unusual and generally incredible experiences. I hope you will find my trip and tips interesting, with insights into cultures, travel, and as well as visa tips, plus possible help or reassurance regarding the border crossings. My travels took me through Brazil, Argentina, Bolivia, Peru, and many more countries. I hope that you find it informative as well as enjoyable. By the time that I had completed my trip, well, my newborn grandson was definitely bigger. I hope that you join me on what was an amazing adventure. As mentioned in my introduction, my reason of going to Brazil was to visit my newborn grandson. My son, who had married a beautiful Brazilian lady, lived and worked in Sao Paulo. I didn't really know what to expect of this immense city, home to over 11 million inhabitants and sprawling 1,521 kilometres. On driving the route from the airport to their home by taxi, I was amazed at the immense murals painted onto the sides of giant buildings. They were mesmerising and awe-inspiring. One wondered as to how these gigantic works of art were in fact executed. I was able to see a couple of the murals by Cobra, a popular artist who, it can be felt by fellow street artists, has gained a bit of a monopoly over the government mural projects in his hometown. His work is incredible. One depiction, painted in 2015, is of the 3 times Formula One world champion, Ayrton Senna, who tragically died after his car crashed in the 1994 San Marino Grand Prix. Born in Sao Paulo, Senna had donated an estimated $400 million of his personal fortune to children's charities, a fact that during his life he had kept secret. 26 years later, the Art and Senna Institute can claim to have helped over 15 million children. Another by Cobra is of Brazil's most famous architect, Oscar Niemeyer, and was painted in 2013. In Sao Paulo, Niemeyer was both lauded and criticised for being a sculptor of monuments, hailed as a great artist and one of the greatest architects of his generation by his supporters. He said his architecture was strongly influenced by Le Corbusier, a Swiss-French modernist pioneer, whose work was associated with brutalism, a new radical architecture emerging in the 1950s. It seems a shame, as the remaining old colonial buildings are being left to go to ruin, ready for demolition. Certain establishments are just deemed more profitable, sadly replacing the historic and often beautiful. The loss of vegetation in many areas paid the price. However, to resolve the large amount of grey, the murals have obviously helped by bringing colour to the city. Also now, to brighten the vista, there is the emergence of complete sides of buildings covered in vegetation, trying to reinsert an aspect of nature and greenery. With so much rain, it is understandable that solid buildings and roads were welcomed. The reason for the emergence and support of street art relates to Sao Paulo's 2006 law, Lei Cidade Limpa, literally a clean city law. Sao Paulo used to be a chaotic, vertical city covered in billboards. The ads were everywhere, on buildings, houses and storefronts, hiding the city's architecture and deeper issues. There was no regulation and people rarely noticed what lay behind them. When the billboards were finally removed, the city was shocked. Hidden favelas suddenly became visible in areas where no one knew they existed. Sao Paulo, like New York, is multicultural. In the Korean neighborhood, for example, many small factories run by Korean businessmen were found to be employing undocumented Bolivian workers. Once the ads came down, people could see inside, revealing workers living and laboring in the same cramped spaces, barely earning enough for food. The city was forced to confront social issues it had long ignored. Now the support of the street artists is evident. Beco do Batman, Batman's Alley, is the nickname for an area in the Vila Madalena neighborhood of Sao Paulo. Beco do Batman has a dense concentration of graffiti that lines the streets and is a popular tourist spot and attraction. The bold colours I appreciate myself, and my own work over my 40 years as an artist has evidence of this fact. The work on the buildings are more graphic in nature, but the bright designs and use of colour I can associate with. I so look forward to sharing further aspects of Sao Paulo, the food, culture, regulations regarding visa extensions and beautiful flowers and fauna, as well as the other places that I explored in South America. I hope that you found this of interest and that you will join me again next week.